What a game. The Packers fall just short of a great comeback. They fall to the Minnesota Vikings 31-29. But it didn't start out like that. The Minnesota Vikings started this game in the first half up 28-0. Sam Darnold came out dicing up the Packers secondary like it was nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not a problem. Not a care in the world. Really taking advantage of Jaire Alexander not being out there. He was dicing it up in the first half. 28-0. Then the Packers scored right at the end of the first half with a beautiful pass from Jordan Love to Jayden Reed, I believe, and made it a 28-7 game. But going into the half and into the second half, if you were to ask me, Taylor, what do you think's gonna happen the rest of the game? I would probably say, well, we're probably gonna lose 56-7. Probably they're gonna keep the foot on the gas. They're gonna come out. Vikings are gonna come out scoring, and they didn't. The Green Bay Packers came out of the locker room. Defense totally focused and locked down. The offense started getting into a rhythm, and they made this a game, and they came within 2 points of knocking off the Vikings after being down 28-0. This team fought back to the very last second, and that's awesome. And you know what? Yes, I'm upset, and I'm upset that the Packers lost, but with the way the Packers finished this game, makes me still hopeful for the rest of the season. We're only 2-2. 2-2. That's fine. That's fine. After 4 weeks, that's fine. Jordan Love in his first game back, coming off of that MCL strain, he was 32 of 54, 389 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 3 picks. Now, in my opinion, that second pick that he had, I think he only had 2. He technically only had 2. He'll get dinged for 3, but he only had 2. That second one kind of bounced off Dobbs and kind of flew out of his hand, so I don't really blame Love for that one. But Love in the second half looked like prime Jordan Love, dropping dimes, doing what he needed to do, except for some bad decisions he made, and we'll get to that. If we get to rushing, Josh Jacobs, 9 attempts for 51 yards. Not great. Not great. And I understand that the Packers were down a lot early. You can't really run the ball and run the clock if you're down 28-0 because you don't have the time to do that. But even when Josh Jacobs ran, I'm not for the first 4 weeks. I'm not seeing anything too spectacular from him. Yeah, the previous 2 games he ran all over, but that was the Titans and the Colts. Like, they have horrible run defenses. And he still has not gotten in the end zone yet. I'm still waiting for a Josh Jacobs touchdown. Maybe we'll get it next week. Anyway, if we look at the receivers, Jayden Reed, 7 receptions, 139 yards, and a touchdown. I've been saying this last year, and I started saying it again this year. Jayden Reed is a superstar. Jayden Reed, if the Packers have a wide receiver one, it's Jayden Reed. It's Jayden Reed. He can be Jordan's comfort blanket. This dude makes plays all the time. Yards after catch. The dude's a stud. He's a playmaker, and he's a total stud. Total stud. Another receiver I want to point out, or I want to shout out, Wicks, 5 receptions, 78 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Dontavian Wicks did not start out great. He had 2 or 3 drops, not great, and I think he got into his head a little bit. And but he came back in the second half and got 2 big touchdowns, and I gotta give him a shout out for that because that was spectacular. Now we look at the missed opportunities for the Packers on offense. The defense in the second half made stops. They gave the offense plenty of opportunities to finish this thing out. Plenty of opportunities. Xavier McKinney had an interception. Again, that's his 4th pick in 4 games. This is the first Packer to ever do that. So he's been totally worth, he is by far the best acquisition the Packers have gotten in the offseason. So he had an interception, and then Nixon forced a forced fumble with Edgerrin Cooper recovering it, and that led to a Packer touchdown. But we look at the missed opportunities. The Packers get the ball, and immediately, for whatever reason, Jordan Love wants to play hero ball and throws a horrible interception in the end zone. Absolutely horrible. That was old Jordan Love. We saw him do that crap last year against the Broncos, the Raiders, the Steelers. We can't have that. We can't have that. It was a bad decision by Love. You can't make those. And then another one, early on in another opportunity, Tucker Kraft fumbles the ball. When he could have just stepped out of bounds, he goes and he fumbles the ball, giving the Vikings another opportunity. Granted, they didn't get it, thank God. I mean, it didn't matter anyway. They won anyway. But they had another opportunity and they blew it. They just blew it. They had a lot of opportunities and they blew it. They kept shooting themselves in the foot. Again, penalties again were a big problem in the first half. Ended up with 8 penalties. Not as bad as last week. Last week they had 10. This week they had 9. Not great. Not great. This team needs to be way more disciplined than that. Eight penalties is not good. 5 in the first quarter, that's unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. This game could have been a lot differently. We look at the Packers' kicking situation again. Narvson, 0 for 2. 0 for 2. He missed a 49-yard field goal and a 37-yard field goal. That's 6 points. 6 points. By my calculations, I'm not the best at math, but by my calculations, you give the Packers 6 points, they carry the 1, they win. They win. Now, I'm not putting this whole thing on Narvson, but I'm just saying it's that's how close the Packers were. The Packers were very close. They had a great comeback, and you know what? I'm upset. I'm mad the Packers lost, but they fought to the last second, and I think that's great. They fought. Jordan looked a lot better in the second half. The defense looked better in the second half. They looked like they were flowing a little bit better. And I hate to say it. I really hate to say it, but the Vikings are good. The Vikings are 15,000 times better than what I thought they were going to be. Sam Darnold looked good. He threw how many touchdowns? Aaron Jones, his first time back to Lambeau. I love Aaron Jones. 22 attempts for 93 yards. He didn't get in the end zone, which is good. Good. I'm glad he didn't get in the end zone. The Packers really made sure to stuff him, and the Vikings really tried to get him in the end zone. They really tried to get him in the end zone. I'm glad he didn't, but as sick as it makes me feel to see Aaron Jones in the purple and gold or purple and yellow or whatever, I love Aaron Jones, and I'm so happy that he's happy, and he's playing very well, he's healthy, and he's playing top-tier Aaron Jones. I love Aaron Jones, and I respect him, and I will always love Aaron Jones. Another thing to point out, Jordan, when he started, like I said, his passes were low. You could tell he wasn't comfortable right out the gate, which is understandable. He had one escape from the pocket. That was really cool, too, by the way. Very cool. It was in I think it was in the fourth quarter. A great escape from the pocket. Wonderful. 2 big blows to the Packers with injuries. Christian Watson went down on that first interception that Jordan had in the first quarter, and then Devontae Wyatt went down, and those are 2 pivotal pieces of this Packers team. That is really a big loss. Also, the big loss, and we felt it today, was Jair being on. I say what you will about Jair Alexander this year. He's playing spectacular, and him not on the field, the Packers definitely felt his absence on defense today, because I really don't think Justin Jefferson gets the catches and the touchdown that he gets if Jair's on him. I really, really don't. But that's pretty much all I have. The Packers, again, fall just 2 points short, or fall by 2 points. 31-29 as they fall to the Minnesota Vikings. They go to 2-2 on the season. Vikings go to 4-0, and they stay on top of the NFC North. Good for you, fuckers. But Packers have the Rams next. Another week to heal up, for Jordan to get more comfortable, defense to lock in a little bit. And we'll see later on this week what's going on with Watson and Wyatt. I'm proud of this team today. I know we lost, but I'm very proud of this team today. They played very well. So many missed opportunities, shot themselves in the foot a lot, but without a couple of those mistakes, the Packers win this game. And they win this game against a very good Vikings team. They do. So that's all I have for this week. Like I said, Packers 2-2 now, 4 down, 13 to go. Rams next week in LA at SoFi. So, thanks for watching. Go Pack Go.